Hi friends, we are going to read the book Elizabeti's School. And just like the other books we have read with the main character Elizabeti, I want you to think about what Elizabeti does in this book and how that describes who she is as a person. Okay, remember we're talking about characters and character traits. It was Elizabeti's first day of school. She tried to sit while Mama braided her hair, but she was so excited that she had to fidget a little. Mama finished, and Elizabeti jumped up. She twirled around and around in her new school uniform. She bent down to feel the smooth surface of her shiny new shoes. No more bare feet, Elizabeti smiled. School must surely be a very special place. It was still too early to leave for school, so Elizabeti wanted to play with her cat, Moshi. Elizabeti held a string for Moshi to chase, like she did every day, but this time Moshi didn't want to play. Finally, it was time to go. Elizabeti waved goodbye to Moshi. She hugged her rock doll Eva and her baby sister, Flora. She let her little brother Obedi give her a sloppy kiss. I'm wondering, based on the actions that we just read, how would you describe Elizabeti? Think, how would you describe Elizabeti? I would say she's pretty loving. Then Mamma patted Elizabeti on the head and told her and her older sister, Pendo, to be good, as they headed out the door. At first, Elizabeti walked very fast, but she slowed down as they neared the school. Pendo took Elizabeti's hand and led her into the schoolyard. There were boys and girls everywhere, laughing and yelling and singing. All the noise made Elizabeti feel shy. She looked back the way they had come and wished she had stayed home. But then Elizabeti's friend Rahili grabbed her hand and led her over to a group of girls kneeling on the ground. They were playing Matura, a game with rocks. Elizabeti smiled. She liked to play with rocks. Because I remember she likes to play with rocks because she has a rock doll named Eva. Elizabeti watched as Rahili dug a small hole and filled it with stones. Then Rahili threw a rock into the air and with the same hand picked out a stone from the hole. Again, with the same hand, she caught the rock before it hit the ground. The next time, she picked out 2 stones, and then 3. Elizabeti had started to dig a hole when the teacher rang the bell. Elizabeti filed inside with the others. She sat on a bench near the front. The teacher began telling them all the things they would do, but Elizabeti had trouble paying attention. She wondered if Flora missed playing with her or if Mama needed help cleaning the rice. The other children started to copy the letters the teacher had written on the blackboard. Elizabeti started to copy them too, but she couldn't help wondering if Obedi wanted her to take him for a walk or if Eva was feeling lonely, sitting in the corner by herself at home. Elizabeti wondered if they missed her. She was certainly missing them. After their lessons, the children all went outside. Some of the older boys played drums while the girls danced. Elizabeti didn't know the dance, but one of the older girls took her hand and showed her what to do. Elizabeti liked it so much. She didn't want to stop when it was time to go inside again. Back in the schoolroom, the teacher taught Elizabeti and the young children how to count to 5. Mohia, Mimbili, Tautu, Ni, Tano. After a few times, Elizabeti could say the words on her own. Later, the teacher read a story. After that, school was over. Elizabeti and her classmates stayed to work in the school's garden. Elizabeti helped pick onions and tomatoes. On the walk home, Elizabeti's new shoes started to hurt her feet, so she took them off. The warm dirt felt wonderful on the bottom of her feet. At home, Elizabeti was so glad to see everyone that she hugged them all. She changed into her old clothes, which Mamma had washed and dried. They were warm from the sun and felt much softer against her skin than the stiff new school clothes. Elizabeti helped with the rest of the afternoon's chores, played with Eva and Obedi, and helped Mamma give Flora a bath. Elizabeti was so happy to be home. She decided she didn't want to go back to school. Elizabeti went to find her cat. She had looked almost everywhere for Moshi when Mamma finally called for her. Elizabeti ran into the house. Mamma was on her knees by Elizabeti's bed smiling, and Obedi was jumping up and down beside her. Elizabeti peeked under the bed. Moshi was curled up, sleeping, but she wasn't alone. Tucked in beside her were several tiny newborn kittens. Elizabeti knew better than to disturb them, but just then she thought of something. She pointed to each kitten and said, Mohia mabili tautu ni tano. Mama was surprised and hugged her. Elizabeti knew how to count. That night, Elizabeti counted the kittens for Baba and wrote some letters in the dirt to show what she had learned at school. Mama and Baba were very proud. Pendo and Elizabeti danced, and they all laughed when Obedi tried to copy them. Elizabeti started to show Mama how to play Matura, but was surprised that Mama was already very good at it. They played it until it was time to go to sleep. Elizabeti climbed into bed and held Eva close. She looked at her pretty school clothes hanging neatly by the doorway. She thought about how good it felt to show Mama and Baba the new things she had learned. Elizabeti shut her eyes and listened to Moshi's steady purring as a kitten meowed every now and then. Elizabeti decided she would give school another try, but home was surely the best place to be. All right, friends, so I want you to take a minute and think, how would you describe Elizabeti? And what makes you think that? What did she say or what did she do that makes you describe her the way that you do? All right, so I would say that Elizabeti is kind, and I would also say that she's helpful. So I would use the words kind and helpful to describe her. I would say she's kind because she shows her family a lot of love, and her brother and sister. She's very kind to them. And I would say that she's helpful because when she came home from school, she wanted to help her mom do things around the house, and she did help her. And after school, she even stayed a little bit longer to help after school. So I would describe Elizabeti as kind and helpful.